A reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. Here is my servant whom I uphold, my chosen one with whom I am pleased, upon whom I have put my spirit. He shall bring forth justice to the nations, not crying out, not shouting, not making his voice heard in the street. A bruised reed he shall not break, and a smoldering wick he shall not quench. Until he establishes justice on the earth, the coastlands will wait for his teaching. Thus says God the Lord, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who spreads out the earth with its crops, who gives breath to its people and spirit to those who walk on it. I, the Lord, have called you for the victory of justice. I have grasped you by the hand. I formed you and set you as a covenant of the people, a light for the nations, to open the eyes of the blind, to bring out prisoners from confinement, and from the dungeon those who live in darkness. The word of the Lord. The responsorial psalm, the Lord is my light and my salvation. The Lord is my light and my salvation. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is my life's refuge. Of whom should I be afraid? The Lord is my light and my salvation. When evildoers come at me to devour my flesh, my foes and my enemies themselves stumble and fall. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Though an army encamp against me, my heart will not fear. Though war be waged upon me, even then will I trust. The Lord is my light and my salvation. I believe that I shall see the bounty of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord with courage. Be stout-hearted and wait for the Lord. The Lord is my light and my salvation.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. 6 days before Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. They gave a dinner for him there, and Martha served, while Lazarus was one of those reclining at table with him. Mary took a liter of costly perfumed oil made from genuine aromatic nard and anointed the feet of Jesus and dried them with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the oil. Then Judas the Iscariot, one of his disciples, the one who would betray him, said, "Why was this oil not sold for 300 days' wages and given to the poor?" He said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief and held a money bag and used to steal the contributions. So Jesus said, "Leave her alone. Let her keep this for the day of my burial. You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." The large crowd of the Jews found out that he was there and came, not only because of him, but also because of Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. And the chief priests plotted to kill Lazarus too, because many of the Jews were turning away and believing in Jesus because of him. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
It's 6 days before Passover. Passover that night is when Jesus was arrested and began to enter into his passion. It's just 6 days away, and Jesus seems to know that it's 6 days away. And so does, it seems, Mary, of Mary and Martha fame, sisters of Lazarus. They're at their house. Jesus is there. We heard in yesterday's gospel from Mark in the reading of the Passion that an unnamed woman came and anointed Jesus. Well, in John's gospel, she is named, and it's Mary, the sister of Martha and Lazarus. And here in this gospel, she anoints his feet with oil, very expensive, beautiful oil, great fragrance, and he wipes it with her hair. She wipes it with her hair. What an incredible, beautiful gesture that she just could not get close enough to him. Why is this being done? Jesus says it again. It's for his burial that's coming. His burial that's coming. The funeral rite of a Jewish person in those days, you needed to be anointed before burial. And there was a good chance that wouldn't happen to Jesus. And it wouldn't. And so this is it. Jesus is now keenly aware that it's coming. His death is coming in a brutal way. This is 6 days before, and he knows it. And then we have Judas kind of mocking Mary, using this expensive oil. We could sell it for 300 days' wages and give to the poor. Like that would happen. And Jesus knows, has to know by this point, that he's not a very worthwhile person to count on for almost anything. It says here that he's a thief. Jesus has to know something about his dark side, and probably knows this is the one who's going to betray him. Somehow has to be brought about. And Jesus probably knows it's going to be Lazarus. He's the one of the 12 who could do something like this. So this is 6 days before. And all these things are happening. All these things Jesus is thinking about. So let's put our mindset into his mind, his heart. What is he going through? What would you go through if you knew in 6 days all this was going to happen to you or for me? Maybe that will help us to know what he's going through right now, 6 days away. We begin to walk with him, to be by his side, just as he has been by our side. But now we're going to be there for him.